always get like a nasty feeling in my gut when I make these videos. If you can't tell, obviously this is not the traditional JMeyels video, but one thing I've really liked to do on this channel is to try to keep myself in check and to keep myself from lying and making videos like Apex is doing this and we're loving this in a moment where you're not really loving anything. So occasionally, looking back on the channel, I've made these videos where I get really frustrated and want to share things, but this one's a little different. I'm not here to complain. I don't care about views. I don't care about money. I just want to be honest. I've had videos on the channel that have done tremendously well from being positive, like Apex is bringing this or bringing that, and they finally listened and all of this stuff. And I've had videos do really good that were a little bit more on the negative side, like Apex is not listening, fans are frustrated, fans are aggravated, they're worried. And it's funny because I'm not afraid to make these videos anymore, but I know that there's always those people that comment, Jay always is so negative, blah 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 blah, but yet you only watch the negative videos and you only click on the negative videos. That's why you think that. But if you watch the channel, you would know there's also another group out there. It's so funny, I get hated from both sides of the community. Jay's always so positive, he's a kiss up. I got a DM the other day, you're a kiss up to Respawn, you don't listen to what the fans really want. When are you gonna get real with yourself, man? I mean, it's like no matter what you do, you can't win. There's always going to be someone hating for whatever reason. But if you watch all the videos on the channel, honestly, I've just tried to keep it real my entire life here. If the comments on the videos and the Twitter posts and the sentiment around the entire community just feels like they're frustrated, then I'm going to talk about fans being frustrated. I'm going to be talking about how the game is not looking as good. If things are happy, if people are reacting well to trailers and things seem to be exciting, then I'm going to say things are exciting. And then there's moments like these where I look back and I've made videos like I hate Apex Legends, and oddly enough, I've always loved Apex Legends, but it was just one of those where I just said, look, I love this game, but I hate what they're doing to it. I hate they're not doing this anymore. It's just so frustrating what's going on. I actually made another one a couple of years later called I'm done Apex, I'm done you doing this, and no one actually ever corrected me on that typo. I actually just found out a couple months ago that I'd butchered that title so bad, but I thought it was funny, so I just left it. I've even taken my frustrations to videos and actually had an animator from Respawn Entertainment that had heard a lot of the fan feedback. I sent it to him and just told him, look, man, you know, all the love in the world to you, bro. Like, there's a couple devs over there that I really like, and I just sent it. I said, look, I just want you to watch. You don't have to respond. I just want you to see it. And he even responded. This was coming from Moy from Tooncraft Animation. You guys probably watch his YouTube channel as well. And I remember when he said, thanks for the shout out. I love to keep my ear close to the community as I cherish it deeply. Believe me when I say that the frustrations are not exclusive to the players. Developers feel these frustrating things too when things don't work quite as planned. It still helps to know what's coming and how to move forward and introduce the next cool thing to the game and the lore. I hope you enjoyed tomorrow's story because I think it's great. And overall, honestly, I've just had nothing but good interactions with the dev. I don't want to get in too much to speculation, but with my experience with the devs, it's always just kind of felt like they want to do just as much as you want them to do. They're just kind of limited in what they're like greenlit to do, I guess. Even comments from those videos, like from Thorn and Smash, JMeyels goes hard. I also agree about the real issues and people saying, oh, you're so negative. Like, bro, I would love to talk about awesome stuff coming, but could you please tell me where that content is? So here's where I'm troubled today, and something I just feel like it needs to be talked about. So like I said, I don't care about getting a lot of views on this video. It's not about the money. I mean, not rich or anything, but I mean, I've been taken care of. I make enough to pay my bills. But what I can't do is just not ever be truthful. Like if I'm making YouTube videos and I'm just having to lie, build this personality and just talk about things that are just literally so unimportant, if I can't get on the mic and just be real and say how I feel, then I'm just not going to be able to do this. Now, don't get worried. I'm going to keep doing this. Obviously, this is what I love to do. But part of why I love it is because I'm comfortable just saying, screw the normal YouTube videos. I'm going to say this. So I hope I don't offend anyone, and buckle up because I got a lot to say. I did not tell any of these YouTubers I'm making this video. I hope they don't mind. I doubt they would. They probably all agree with me anyways. So here we go. Number one, Thorn and Smash, one of the biggest Apex Legends YouTubers right now, at an all-time low views of his channel, like probably since I really met him. It's been forever. JMeyels obviously at the lowest viewership that he's ever had, which is obviously me. Yay. It's been my lowest viewership, I think, for about like in maybe 2.5 years or so. I remember when Garrett started this little channel of like the 30-second clip videos and stuff, and I remember when this trend first started getting really popular. I remember when he used to get like 100K on every single video, and some of these things popped off to like 1.2 million views and stuff. I mean, it was crazy. And I just remember when the interest for Apex was just really outlandish. YouTubers like Skeptation were doing the same thing. Unfortunately, they don't really seem to be around anymore. Shrugtall was all into this stuff and very active. One of the most predominant like data miners of Apex history, unfortunately, has stepped away as well. And if you're really OG, you'll remember back in the days when Sethley and iLoot Games were racking in like 100K per video. Times were really crazy back then, and honestly, I used to get a lot more views, and I really regret not being more active, but I was working at the school at the time and things were just tough. June of 2023, Apex Legends Twitch viewership was the lowest since October 2020 with only 39,000 average viewers. ALGS gave July a boost, but of course less people were watching the game. Well, by the way, this trend has continued, unfortunately. July of 2023, Apex hit a new low player count since December of 2021. Alpha Intel reported that at the launch of season 18, this current season, the peak players were 451,000 players on Steam, which was down from 584,000 at the launch of season 17. So if that wasn't enough proof for you that the people are getting less and less interested in this game, now the question proposes why. Why are all the Apex Legends news and updates channels doing so badly, and why has Apex Legends Twitch viewership been so down lately? Here's where the title of the video really starts to connect. It's because there's literally nothing happening. I remember when every single Apex season had some type of a map update. I remember when every single year had a brand new map. I think we've had like one World's Edge update, and it was not really comparable to like the time where they added like a brand new extra POI to Kings Canyon, where they made the map bigger, or like a town takeover that had a very cool theme, or a brand new mode that made people feel so fresh again, like third person mode or like Gold Rush duos. There's been nothing like that. It's just been a bunch of boring takeover battle royale modes like the node tracker, which is, I guess, a nice addition, but it's not like fresh. It's still basically pubs, or the whole Deadeye tracker thing that literally no one played because they're not really new modes. They're just like additions that they're testing for normal BR. The truth of the matter is there has literally been very little content. It's just been a bunch of skins, and not only has there been a lack of content, there's been a lack of communication. I remember when you could nearly make a video every single day based upon what developers were responding to the community with, like, hey, yeah, we hear that bug, we're actually working on it right now, or hey, we hear your frustrations about this and we are going to look to maybe do some of this, or hey, I didn't realize that that's the way that worked, I'm going to tell the devs right now, we're going to work on this. You could literally make daily videos about live updates that Respawn were giving back to the community. A little over a year ago, things started to really switch after Respawn had made it clear that EA was not happy with their communication on Twitter and how much drama was coming out of it. So of course, what happened? We stopped getting a lot of it. Some of the developers that used to do interviews with YouTubers about changes and stuff coming, they stopped doing it because it was just too much of a risk. So now we have a lack of content, a lack of communication, and I cannot confirm that this is true, but I have heard that we actually might not be getting a new map this season like normal. Normally, the brand new season that happens in November at the very end of the year is always the season that we get the brand new map. It's happened the same thing for World's Edge, Olympus, and Stormpoint, and Broken Moon. I've heard there's a chance that doesn't happen and it actually comes season 20 instead, but I'm not exactly sure. But to be honest with you, that's besides the point. I'm just trying to say that there's really not much going on, and it's been this way for a while. And this is where the fans start to get really frustrated with YouTubers, because obviously we have to make something. We have to talk about what's going on. And when days there aren't much going on, we have to really dive deep into some crazy Reddit post or Twitter threads or something that we talked about in the past that we want to revisit because we have a small bit of information to add to it now. And some people get mad because they feel like we're reposting things. And I know Thornton gets hate for revisiting topics, and I get hate for revisiting topics, and people want something new, and the viewers get just as frustrated as we are because they want to see bigger news. And the truth is, there is no bigger news. As you can tell, the player count has suffered, the viewership has suffered, and I think Respawn or EA, I don't really know, has really failed to realize that the news outlets provide a lot of hype for this game. Whether you love us or hate us, the videos really bring a lot more attention to the game. Having information about changes that seem to be on the horizon from the devs are really important. The communication we get from Respawn used to be very crucial, and the updates that were all throughout the season were very crucial. We don't really get literally anything anymore. Like I said, I'm not trying to be super negative or anything. I'm just trying to say the truth. If you feel like I'm wrong, please do correct me on what's been so exciting this year. Now, to give the benefit of the doubt, I do feel like Apex fans called for this whole, revival season or, Operation Health season, where they try to fix the matchmaking. They try to fix the bugs. They try to fix this and don't add content as much. And it's like when Respawn really tried to do stuff like that that by fixing the matchmaking, fixing the rank system, and fixing all this other stuff, and it came at the cost of content, then obviously we get upset. But I think sometimes it feels like we're just running in circles, because I feel like the solutions have already been spoken many of times, and we've actually had some good results, but they decided that it wasn't good for themselves and they didn't like it. We now know that cross progression is set to either come out in the middle of season 18 or at the launch of season 19, and maybe working on those features has tied them up to where they weren't able to do more content like they wanted to. Maybe when that thing releases and the 120 FPS on console releases, that they'll finally be able to say, now we can start doing these other things more often like we want to. And of course, that's the hope. The sad part is just to see people moving in other directions. Even people like Thornton obviously still do YouTube, but I think his real main priority now is his Apex Legends professional team with Oxygen Esports, which is really cool. I gotta be honest, as of late, I've really enjoyed doing the ALGS news channel a lot more, and the views have really been consistent over there and very nice, and I've really enjoyed it. It's been a breath of fresh air. But the truth is, I can't start slacking off on this, because this is where it all started for me. This is the bread and butter. This is like my first love kind of thing. I've actually stepped up the production here. The editing has gotten better. It's just that the topics and the content itself to talk about is just so dry. I feel like Apex is doing itself a disservice by not, you know, feeding into the hype of their news source outlets and not helping out the viewership of the game and not helping out with the content avenue. Which is crazy, because we're not always really just asking for updates for like maps and stuff. We're just sometimes asking for you to post something on Twitter. So I wanted to make this video because I want to be honest and I want to say what I feel like the truth is. Let's make this clear. Apex is not going anywhere. For those of you that take it to the extreme and say this game is dying and it won't even be here a year from now, it's just simply not true. And honestly, I think you look foolish, because no matter how much of an opinion you have, you got to think within inside the realm of reality. And that is the case that this game will be lasting for longer than a year or two, probably 3. I really think that it's definitely got at least 5 more maybe, but they're expecting like 20 more years. And I will say they're gonna have to step it up if that's the case. I don't see it lasting for 20 more years at the way it's going now, but I do see if they make changes, of course, then things could be good. I just feel like honestly, nobody's talking about this. YouTubers are just continuing on the path that we always have. We try to make the best of what's out there. We try to be as honest as we can while doing so, and no one really wants to say this because it usually ends up in a lot of dislikes, and I think you're being overly negative and whatever. I mean, that's fine. I don't really care. I've always preached positivity towards people and situations and circumstances and individuals, but just because I want to say the truth about the game doesn't mean I'm being negative or like I'm just trying to spread negativity. I'm just trying to keep it real. What's more negative is being a liar and just pretending that everything's a fairy tale and rainbows and sunshine and we're all happy. I'd rather someone be blunt and honest with me rather than just telling me, oh, you're doing a great job, this is perfect, even though they think I'm completely failing. Like, let's just be honest, what hurts more, having your girlfriend say I love you for 20 years and then turn out she was lying and cheating on you, or just have her after week 1 say, look, I'm not in love with you? Like, let's just get it over with. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real, cut to the chase, and let's just like not hide anything. So the synopsis of all of this is that your creators out here are really struggling, especially the news outlet. I'm gonna say Respawn is doing a horrific job at keeping touch with their community, doing a terrible job in the content realm and department, to be honest with you. I mean, season 16 had so many events and modes and updates and stuff that was going on. It was like so action packed. But yeah, I don't know, I just think this has been miserable lately for a lot of people. I'm not here to hate, just here to share my frustrations and say it sucks to be a part of this. What really sucks is to see not necessarily the views go down and like everybody's struggling, but like also just how people were so excited, people were so passionate, they really loved to hear what was coming to this game, and now people literally could not care a bit less. When is Apex going to reinstate that trust, revamp and revitalize this situation? I don't know. I know some of the biggest updates that they've been working on with cross progression and stuff are right around the corner with the new season. But just like I've said in times past, it seems like every 6 months or a year, I have to revisit this topic. They have this burst of great months and then it just literally dies for the next 9. I don't know. It just really sucks. You know, I don't know if anybody actually watched all the way through this, but I hope you have enjoyed my TED Talk. And let me know what you guys think down below. I know this is not a normal JMeyels video, and but I really do appreciate you watching, and also my editor for going through all of this. I know it was a long one. Novell, much love, man. If you guys want to watch his video, he makes great Apex content as well. It's right on screen now, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care of yourselves. Until next time, see you all later, Gators.